So when you're in that situation, what would you say is the best way to get yourself away? If you can't get hold of the decision maker initially, what's the best way to get past the minion to speaking to that decision maker?
So it's like any objection at all, because the minion will give you the objection. You can't go past me because the boss has given it to me, and I'm so important that if I let you past, I don't look as important, and it's bad for my self-esteem and my morale, and I'm going against what my boss says, and so on. So you're fighting against that. So you have to appeal to the minion's self-interest. So, and then it's just a question of working out the words you're going to use. It's like any objection. If you're worried about the objection about price, the only way to get rid of that objection is for you to convince yourself that price isn't an issue, and then work out a script to say to remove that concern about price. Yeah. So you convince yourself, and then you work out your script to convince them. So the order is: number one, convince yourself; number two, get a script. So if you're talking to a minion, the first thing you have to think is, why is it in the minion's interest to let me speak to the boss? I know why it's in my interest, but why is it in the minion's interest? Because otherwise, however I phrase it, I'm going to basically say, you aren't as important as I want to speak to. Now move out of the way, little person, so I can let the adults have a chat. You know, so firstly you have to convince yourself, why is it in the minion's interest? And you think, well, why will it be good or bad for the minion if I speak to the boss or not? And then you begin to think, well, hold on. If me and the minion agree something, and the minion hammers my price down, and the minion goes to the boss and says, I found a really cost-effective solution by someone who just caved on price straight away, aren't I clever? Well, probably the boss is not going to like that, actually. And also the boss is probably going to ask the minion a couple of questions that the minion didn't ask me, and then the minion's going to feel stupid and have to come skulking back and da-da-da. Oh, right, it is in the minion's interest for me to speak to the boss. Ha-ha, right, step one done. I'm now convinced myself. And then step two is then what's the script? And the script has to appeal to the minion. So I might say something like this. I'd be delighted to be considered for this, but there's a couple of things that we need to do. Obviously with this, the ultimate decision maker always has a point of view that neither me nor you know. And the reason for that is they won't know exactly what they want until they see what their options are. And then they go, aha. And in my experience of doing this, whenever they go, aha, they always ask a question that we haven't thought about. And neither of us want that. It doesn't make you look good in front of your boss. Doesn't help me either. So it's obviously important that me and the boss get together at some time with you, because I want it to be a three-way chat. And to be honest, I'd be astounded if any other consultant didn't say the same thing. So what's the best way to get me and you and the boss together? Or something like that. So what's happening is you can see I'm positioning from their point of view. I haven't said it exactly, but what I've implied is if we go the way you're thinking, you're about to look stupid when the boss asks you a question. Yeah. But by saying something as well, like, and I'd be astounded if any other consultant didn't ask that, it's showing it's a perfectly valid thing for me to say. But also if anybody else doesn't do it, they might begin to think, why hasn't he asked me that? Because Andy asked me to do that. I find that works for me. Now, what I would say to everyone is whether you like my scripts or not, I don't know how to say this without sounding horrible. I don't care whether you like my scripts or not, everyone. But what I do care about is, number one, you convince yourself. And number two, you get a script that you're happy with. Because if you convince yourself and then your script is right, what you'll find is you maximize the chance of getting past the minion.
Cool. No, I think that's a really nice point, because obviously you're playing to one, you're massaging their ego, two, you're approaching their fears. So both ways they're going to let you through the gatekeeper.